Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we'll be reviewing the Bataleon Beyond Metal's Goliath. I mean, doesn't that look like a 90s graphic to you? Because it does to me. This board features Bataleon's medium camber with freestyle 3BT and sidekick technology. Freestyle 3BT is a slightly narrower 3BT in the nose and the tail than their jib 3BT. So basically it's not as wide of a platform, and sidekick helps scoop the tips up there. The medium camber, it's a mellow traditional camber. It's not as mellow as their low camber, but it's not as aggressive as their traditional camber. Basically, you're gonna get load and pop out of the camber, and then you got elevated contact points which will help the board roll in and out of turns and float and powder. This board comes in 4 sizes: 153, 156, 158 wide, and 159. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a day that was lightly overcast, so it's high visibility. There was some winds, snow was falling, there was a ton of fresh pow like all over the mountain off the groomed runs, and the temps were a little bit warmer. I rode this board with my K2 Thraxis boots and my Rome Black Label bindings. The overall flex of this board comes in at just past the middle of the road. Now, what you do get is slightly softer tips, like way out in the tips, then about between halfway from the end of the tip and the insert pack, it starts to get stiffer all the way up through the middle, and it's kind of a uniform flex. There is some torsional give to it, and you'll notice that. You can twist the board however you want in there, but it's not overly abundant. Now, when it comes to stability, you will notice that there is some chatter out in the tip, and what it does is it will not resonate back underfoot, which just makes the board a little more stable, which is great because if you need to plow through chunder and shit, this board doesn't falter, it doesn't get bucked around, it's stable underfoot where it counts. You can go high speed into just about anything and never really have to worry about leg fatigue or you're just getting knocked on your ass. There's snap in this board. It's still not the snappiest thing I've been on, but there's snap. You load that camber profile up, and believe me, you do have to load it up, you're gonna get pop. You can send it off rollers, side hits, whatever. Just be a little more calculated with it. Understand how to load camber and how it's gonna unload and rebound. It's gonna pop. That's it. Now, when it comes to jumps, this is the Beyond Metals Cruise board, so obviously it can hit bigger shit. I don't hit big shit. I'm fucking old and my knees are turned to dust. I go in the peace part. A lot of transition riding. Very fun. This board, it did what you needed it to do. It popped with ease off the lip, and it went a little bit further and a little bit higher. So this board just amplifies the natural characteristics of the lip. It gets the job done. You can just load it up and it's gonna snap. That's really what you need to know with this board. Speed is your friend when you butter with this board. The sweet spots are not the most immense, so you gotta be a little calculated. You gotta understand where they are, but when you engage them, you're going to be able to butter, and that freestyle 3BT and sidekick just scoops out the tip, so you don't really have to worry about catching that contact point, so you can swivel and sizzle. The same thing can be said about jibbing. Obviously, with a narrower flat section in the middle, you got less surface area to lock into. So you want to make sure that you really just get it right in there to lock it in. Now, as I've said, speed is your friend with this, and you really just want to make sure you get your weight out over the nose and tail and just lock in for those types of presses. And when you get sideways, be prepared for this board to not fully hug the rail. You're gonna feel it cradle it a little bit, but this board is designed for high speed jibbing slope style status. You're coming in, you just do your trick really quick, you're already off the rail, you're going into the next jump. That's kind of how it is with this. It's for someone that's a little more calculated with their jibbing, someone that understands how to throw their weight into it and really press it as they need to. So how does this thing carve? Well, with having freestyle 3BT, you kind of lose that contact point out here, so you steer a little bit more underfoot. If you're used to that, good. If you're not, well, you're probably fucked. With that being said, this board does roll from edge to edge effortlessly, and very quickly. So you'll be able to transition from toe to heel, back and forth. And when you're on edge, you are on edge from about here to here. You're locked in. You can feel it on edge. You can drive it off the tail. It really just springs in and out of turns. I'd say that short, tight, quick turns or medium hard carves are really its strong suit, but you can lay it over when you need to. You want to throw a Euro carve on it? Go for it. Like, really lay it over and do it. It's not something I would do it with all day, every day, but when you need to, it gets that job done. So who is this board for? It's for the higher end park rider, someone that might venture outside the park, but it's really for someone that's hitting the bigger line, hitting the slope style jibs, shit like that. You know, someone that's just going a lot faster than most of you people that are watching this and going a lot higher and a lot further. You think you ride like the Beyond Metals crew, but you don't. You ride like the geriatric crew, which is how I ride, because I'm old and I'm gonna die soon. At the end of the day, it's a higher end freestyle board. It's not gonna be for everyone, but for those that need something like that and they want 3BT, it's not a bad option. Freestyle 3BT is a lot more defined than jib 3BT, so you got more scooping out in the tip and the tail, which actually makes it good in powder. I got this thing into some pow. It was fun. It just funneled it right out. I could slash some turns, then hit the piece park, maybe go down the sides of some stuff in the piece park where there's fresh pow, you know, slash some more turns in it. It's a higher end board. It demands a little bit more out of you. You feel that load underfoot, especially in your knees when you're trying to drive into it to get pop. It's not a bad board. It's not a great board, and it's probably not for everyone, but for those that want something like this, it's gonna be solid. Comparable boards: the Ride Burnout, the Interior Plane Project Hanali, the Rome Mod Stale. This has been my review of the Bataleon Beyond Metals Goliath. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you gonna buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications, that way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you'd really like to support us and you just want to see us grow out what we're doing over here, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.